It may feel like the middle of winter today, but it's officially April, which means Easter is around the corner. We're going to do some spring cooking with Emily Richards.
We're going to bring the spring. Nice to be here. And spring is with sweets and salads. It's a good start, right?
Two of my favorite things. I love it. I love a fresh spring salad followed by a nice little treat. Because you know I love to follow everything up with a treat.
You know, I love that you love sweets because it just makes you that much sweeter, and I love
it. Okay, let's go down here. What are we making for this salad? I'm loving all the color, first of all.
Springtime, we have to think color. We have to, get those vitamins and minerals into our bodies. So let's go with veggies and fruit because that's definitely where it's going to be. So this is a roasted beet and orange salad. And you roast off the beets, and I actually do a number of beets, roast them and keep them in the fridge because they're a great side dish, but even better as a salad. I love them.
I love beets.
And oranges. So citrus is springtime. We think of all that fresh flavor and aroma. And this one showcases oranges beautifully. So I actually put a little bit of the rind in the dressing with some fresh orange juice, but this also has fresh orange in it. And this is just, I love showing this all the time because I think that everyone deserves to have a pretty orange. So I just cut both ends off, and then you just take your knife and kind of follow around to take the pith all the way so that you get these beautiful slices. You want to give it a try, Leanne?
Yeah, okay, because I was wondering how you've turned this into these beautiful orange slices.
And this is great, think breakfast time if you want to have some oranges or even grapefruit in the morning with your yogurt or cereal. It's just a nice start, and I love this aroma. So it just is absolutely fabulous. And this, don't worry about all of this because you can actually simmer this in a little pot, make a lovely little, add some ginger, some tea, or a nice syrup, cinnamon, and you can drink it. It's a great start.
Delicious.
And then all you need to do is flip this over, and you're going to get those beautiful slices.
Wow, it's so simple.
Just like that, exactly. And this, again, you can have this done ahead of time, especially if you want to do this for friends and family. Get some of this done ahead of time so that you can just put it all together, and you're always a winner in the kitchen.
Okay, well, let's put it together. How are we doing this?
So I'm going to get you to toss everything together. We're also going to add some fennel, and I'm going to slice a little bit more, but this is thinly sliced fennel, some mixed greens, and you can use whatever you like. If you want something a little bit more peppery, you could use a little bit of baby arugula or baby spinach would be lovely too.
Should I put all of this in?
Sure, why not? We've got to feed everybody here after.
We've got a big salad, we've got a big crew, and lots of hungry tummies.
That's right.
Okay.
A little bit of shallot. You could use red onion or a regular onion. I just like the flavor of it, and so that's why I leave it sliced like this, because those that don't like it, they can just push it off to the side.
Right.
But you're still going to get that fabulous little bit of flavor, which is really nice.
Love that we have some nuts too.
Yes, and whatever you happen to have, those are toasted pecans, but you could use walnuts, almonds, and obviously if there's any nut allergies, please leave them out. But that little crunch is really, really nice.
You can smell the deliciousness of the orange, the aroma from the orange. Oh, it smells divine.
And I like to consider this a plated salad. So you can put this, I brought a nice platter here, you can spread it out, or you can do this individually on plates for everybody if you're serving it as a first course. And then we're going to top it with those roasted beets and oranges because they're really kind of the stars of this salad. We have all the texture and flavor from the dressing and the pecans and the fennel, but really kind of adding the jewels, if you will, of the beets and the oranges on top are quite lovely.
Okay, I feel like that is coming together beautifully.
That looks gorgeous. And you're right, it smells wonderful in here, which is fabulous.
If only everyone could smell what we are smelling.
We really have to work on that, Leanne.
We do. We have to figure out a way to transport the smell through the camera.
That's right.
Okay, so we got our oranges that we cut up there too.
And you can just put some on. Now, this is great, like I said, if you have them in the fridge, this really just jazzes up any dish. So if you were making, a main dish and you wanted to add some oranges to it before you bake it, slicing them this way adds flavor and texture, and definitely the color that we're looking for, which is really nice.
Beautiful. We got to work on plating too. So we have to space. This is one thing I've learned from you. We have to space things out appropriately, right?
That's right, because you have more coming. And what I love about this salad too is if you happen to have some goat cheese or feta in the refrigerator, this is a great place to sprinkle some on top. And again, add a little dimension of flavor. That little acidity that comes from those cheeses goes really nicely with the sweetness of the fruits and vegetables in here.
With the beets and the goat cheese?
I love beets.
Look how beautiful that looks.
It is. It's gorgeous. They really are jewel tones. So if you can't get a ring, get a salad.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect. There we go. It is lovely. Looks beautiful.
Oh yes, and you're going to garnish it. Those are just some of the tops of the fennel. So you use them very much like dill, and they just look beautiful right on top. You can chop them up and add some even into the dressing if you wanted to, and it's absolutely wonderful for flavor as well as, I don't know, I would charge at least, what, $29.95 for that?
That's a $30 salad right there in a restaurant, okay? Plus, we made it extra large, so maybe
That's
it's like
right.
$40 or $50. Okay, we'll add the rest of the beets after, but we got to move it on to something sweet because, you know, we love a sweet treat. And there's nothing better than baking at Easter because you get to bake with mini eggs. That is my favorite Easter dessert of all time.
And we're going full on chocolate here. I'm going to put some on this strip of brownie for you.
Okay.
And you can start spreading that. This is just a very simple brownie, but because mini eggs have that sweetness, I like to go with a deep dark brownie. So this, I used actually 85% cocoa chocolate to make the brownie, so it has that intense chocolate flavor. And really, it's not about the brownie, as you said. You really want those mini eggs on top. And so we're kind of making this a little bit like an Easter egg hunt. So we have the chocolate frosting on there, and then we're going to put some grass.
Nice.
This is one of my favorite things. Kids and adults alike love this. It's some coconut, just a little bit of green food coloring on top.
Oh, cool.
Because this is the grass where you're going to hide your mini eggs in.
Love that. That's such a cool idea. I've actually never seen the coconut done like that.
And it's great, just, you know, this you can do ahead, a few drops right in there, mix it up with your hands, gloved hands, or else you're going to end up with green fingers.
True.
And you'll have red from the beets.
Christmas.
And then you can just have it ready to go. And the frosting, I, again, used the 85% cocoa chocolate because it really does have that intense flavor of chocolate. And this is, you know, if you love chocolate, this is kind of close to unsweetened, but it has that intense chocolate flavor. So you can snack on this. This is the chocolate you'd have with a glass of wine, for example, to kind of balance off that richness, which is wonderful. You did a great job. I love it.
It looks good. I'm going to cut us a piece. So
I was going to say, is that the piece that you want? Like, you can have that whole piece.
I'm going to cut us a little piece
Yes,
to start.
that's very good.
So that we can try it. We each get a mini egg there.
And that's what I love. This is a nice dense brownie, so you can cut it into big pieces, serve it with a dollop of whipped cream for dessert. But, you know, plain and simple like this is the way I like to go.
Perfect. And all of Emily's recipes from today will be on our website. So if you want to bake any of the brownies or make the salad for your guests this Easter, you'll be able to do so. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Easter.
Same to you, Leanne.